Bang. Needs knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife, Kara, is at work. Douglas is with us. Say what's up, Douglas.
What's up?
All right. I just want to go through the list of stuff. We are going to be doing a stone washing today. This is the Delica, the almighty Delica. We are doing the Twosun TS16. We're going to be doing an acid etch and stone wash. Then right after that, we're going to be doing a regrind with a diamond stone. I was going to put it in 2 videos, but instead I am just going to have some parts that will be skipped through, so you will have to follow along. This is the materials you will need. But before that, I just want to warn you guys that you guys might see something that might freak you guys out, so I just want to warn you ahead of time. You might catch a couple glimpses of some...
What are those?
Shut up, Douglas. Alright. Let's go through the list of stuff. You will need paper towels, alcohol, most importantly, Wink rust stain remover. This stuff works very good for acid etch. It works very quickly. Pause if you want to. You can order this or pick it up at your local hardware store. Next, you will need multiple containers. Nail polish. Why are we using pink and blue? Because we're gangsta. You can use any color you want. Next, some Windex. That's, you could just use the alcohol. This is filled with broken tile. Just regular, good old tile. This is ceramic tile. Sorry, it's a little bright right there. Let's see if we can shine you over here a little bit. Just regular tile, ceramic. So what we did was I crushed it all up, put it in there, but I do have a lid. So make sure you have a lid for this part. And some wire, okay? All right, and your tools to take apart your knife. You are going to take apart your knife, get all your parts separated, put them in a nice safe place. Some people like to set them aside for what part goes where. This has very minimal hardware. In this video, I did take off I did take off my stainless steel lock bar, and you might not have to, because if you're just doing the blade, you won't have to do that, but we might strip this down. So alright, now that we have our blade, you see it's nice and cleaned up. I'm going to clean this really quick. It will be very fast for you guys, and I am going to take the nail polish and I am going to put it on all the parts we cannot etch. This is very, very important. You will ruin your knife, most likely, if you do not do this part. So let's skip forward. Make sure you clean this off really good with alcohol. Oh yeah, one more step. Rubber gloves. Use rubber gloves. You do not want to get this on your skin. If you do, not a big deal. Just wash your hands off or whatever you got it on with just, you know, wash it off with soap and water. You'll be fine. But be careful. And I'm not advocating for, you know, for anything here. This is just what I do, and I'm just showing you how I do my acid etch and stone wash, and then a regrind after. Rubber gloves. Wear them. Safety first. And safety glasses. Don't forget the safety glasses. Okay. I got the nail polish. Alright, there we go. Covering all the parts that I cannot let the acid etch mess with. Or, you know, whatever. So, you see the detent ball. You must get the detent ball and get the detent track where the detent rides. Make sure you get that. You'll see a line where the detent ball rolls. Get that. Get where your bearings or your washers sit. And then get the stop pin where it hits. You can look at the knife while it's together, or make, you know, like put the scales up to it so you can see where is going to be exposed, because you don't want the exposed areas not getting etched. So you want to make sure that where you put your nail polish is not exposed anywhere. Now I'm doing my scales. Most likely you guys are just doing your blade, but if you do your scales, make sure you get where your stainless steel lock bar set and where the stop pin was. I did not do where the washers go because Twosuns come with a washer that goes right there. So I already got a clean stainless steel washer that goes in there. So I'm not so worried about that. But before you do any of this, make sure you clean all your parts off very, very good with alcohol. Wear gloves, because even though this is an etching, the etching will come out weird if it has fingerprints on it. So make sure you clean off. I'm going to clean it off again before I put it in, but we're going to let it dry right now. I just want to apologize right now to a buddy out there that sent me this knife that we are working on today. That is Mark. Sorry, bud. I shit the bed on this one. I should have done this a long time ago. You sent me the knife, you know, for me to do mods on and stuff like that. And I totally should have done this a long time ago. It's completely my fault, and I do want to apologize, but we're getting it done today. Okay, in the meantime, you can get your wire ready while you're waiting for your nail polish to dry. Get as many strands as you need. You most likely only need one strand for your blade. Oh, and I also forgot, make sure you get some distilled water. You're going to need this to rinse. You could probably use regular water, but what I hear, you want to use distilled water. It's better. I don't know. Whatever. Get some water. Clean water. Okay, guys. We are about to put this in. I let the nail polish sit about 30-45 minutes. I do keep cleaning it off, trying to make sure everything's nice and clean on it. I did forget to tell you guys, make sure you get some nail polish or paint remover, because you're going to want to remove the nail polish from the knife. Other things do work, but nail polish remover is probably the fastest. It's I think it's an acetone. Yeah, acetone. So get some sort of acetone. This has alcohol on it right now. I'm just kind of trying to hit it up before it goes in. All right. You know what? I'm going to give it a little dip in the water before I put it in. Dipped it in the water. Let's lay it down. Okay, now, there is a couple things to this now. Sorry I keep hitting the camera, guys. You know what? I see something on the blade. Hang on a second. I gotta get that off. I don't know what it is. Luckily, I got gloves on. I might just have to deal with it. Okay, this is D2, so it's going to probably go really quick. I'm going to check it every 5-10 minutes, because the thing is that you don't want to look at it with your eyes and say, okay, it's not dark enough. You have to take it out of the water and use these rubber gloves to touch it. Because what happens is the steel breaks down on the surface. And so the chemical eats through the surface. So the surface still looks normal, but it's fragile and it's just sitting there ready to just fall off. So what you gotta do is knock it off with your finger and check it. So And about 5-10 minutes, I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to touch it with my finger and see how it looks, because where I touch it is actually what it's going to look like. So we'll wait 10 minutes. This is a great time to flip your Daleka. Let's see if we can middle finger flick it. Bang. Check the lock up. Perfect. Side to side plate. Looking good. Let's check the centering. Amazing. Check the action. Fidget factor. Oh, man. I'm going to be doing these after the blade. I don't want them to contaminate each other. I don't want this, you know, whatever they put on the Twosun to come off. So, yeah, I'll do these right after. Also, remember when I took that out of the water and I touch it with these gloves, you want to go wash your hands with the gloves with soap and water. You do not want to touch your other parts with your fingers now, because you will mess it up. You'll leave fingerprints, the handle will start coming off, or whatever you're touching. It, you know, if it's the steel, it will start eating it down. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. You see it bubbling. That's it eating through the surface now. So I'm going to do a little flip. And I'm going to hit the camera as I do that. I'm hoping that the surface that's hitting the bottom. Normally I have it floating, you know, in one of these containers over here. This time I'm trying it like this. So I'm going to keep lifting it up and flipping it around. And I'll bring you guys back in just a few more minutes. Okay, let's check it really quick. Now remember, we want to touch it. Sorry about the camera. I can definitely see it starting to break down, but it's definitely going to need about like 10 more minutes. You know, D2 is definitely not a stainless, but you know, it's almost a stainless, guys. It really is. So it's been about 8 to 10 minutes right now, so we'll give it another 10 minutes, see how it goes. Okay, guys, I lowered you guys down just a little bit. I think I'm going to call it right here, because I don't want to get it too dark. I am still doing a regrind. I'm basically just trying to get the stonewash up on top, up here. And you see it is on. Do you see the steel coming off? Let's give it a good cleaning. Yeah, I can see the steel on my fingers. Swirl it around really good in there. Get it really good. Let's get a new paper towel. Okay, let's check it. Oh yeah, I see the steel just pouring off of it, and a lot of it will knock off during the stonewash. Now, if I wanted a real solid dark gray, I could just leave it in there for about probably 10 more minutes. Remember, this is getting a regrind down here. So what we're worried about is the top portion. And I'm not looking to get it too dark. I'm just looking for a little shade. But now, the longer you let it sit, the longer it's gonna, or the more it's gonna darken. Now your eyes deceive you a little bit with this. It's hard to kind of see, and you see the pattern down here. Now that's just gonna fill in darker and darker and darker. See the darkest little dot? And within a couple minutes it'll be that dark, and I'm not wanting it too dark. I'm just wanting a nice light stonewash look which this will help break down the steel for the stone wash. So let me put the scales in here and we'll get the stone washing. Let's get these in here. I want the tops facing. Let's see, make sure it's completely submerged. It's completely submerged. Okay, now what we are going to do, we're going to take our blade. We are going to take the top off of this. We're going to drop it in there. Sometimes I leave it on the wire so it's easier for me to retrieve. Because sometimes it'll be at the bottom of the bucket and it gets really hard to retrieve. But I might take, screw it. I'll just leave it on there. Whatever. So what I'll do is I'll leave the wire hanging out just a little tiny bit. Top on it. You want it nice and secure because we're really going to shake it up. This is garbage. Make sure you dispose of that right. Don't just throw it anywhere you want. Make sure you dispose of that container right. Okay, so now we got it sealed. Let's set this a little to the side. It is going to break down very quickly, so keep an eye on that. I'll keep checking it. But as for this, we're going to do that for about 30 minutes. You are going to have to resharpen after this. Some people just like to tumble it like this. Just roll it around. Alright, we're going to do that for about 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. We'll keep checking on it. And you know what's really cool about this, guys? Is that you can take a knife that you enjoy and love, make it yours, customize it, and, make it, I'm going to say, damn it. And make it look like the, knives that you see that you really like and want so bad, but you can't afford. You can turn a knife that you do enjoy and that you can't afford into yours and customize it. And, there's a personal connection you have with that knife when it's done because you did it. It looks really good and it looks customized, and I enjoy that from time to time. Sometimes I just like leaving a knife the way it is too, because I think the maker did a perfect job. Only some kind of Cerakote. It is taking a little bit longer for this model. You see all the the green in there. That's the Cerakote. I'm pretty sure it's a Cerakote. It's some type of finish, and the finish is really strong. I'm surprised how good of a finish this is. And, it would have looked really good on the blade we're going to put on it. But we're looking for some raw titanium here. So we're still getting it. It is definitely taking a minute to get this, this whatever, Cerakote or whatever it is. It might be a ceramic coating. Don't have the money to get some of these parts, like some of these containers like this. You can just take jugs like this and cut them in half, and use the jug. You can use things around the house that, to where this won't cost you much. The only thing that's really going to cost you is, the etching. All the other stuff you can probably find around your house. If you don't have nail polish, you're going to have to get it or ask one of your friends. You can improvise and get really good results. Then about, 25, 30 minutes altogether, I can see the coating coming off, because since this is like a Cerakote or ceramic coating or something, it's like stripping off. The Stonewash that I'm going to put this through will definitely break this stuff up, but it's still going. This is definitely taking longer than I expected. Normally, if it's just an anodizing, it will be really quick, like within seconds. It can, strip an ano off. All right, let's get these things out. You see the water is like crazy black. Let's get these things out, shake them up a little bit. This is all I'm going to do. Whatever it is, it is. This is how it's going to take the stonewashing. Because of other things I've been doing, I haven't been able to stonewash the knife as much as possible. So I'm going to pause you guys for a minute, do some more stonewashing, and show you the blade. Alright guys, this is about 15 minutes of stonewashing. You see it's got a really nice stonewash. Remember, this is all going to get grinded, so we're just looking at the top of it. Up here, I think it looks amazing. It looks really, really good. Especially in my view, without the blurriness. There we go. It looks really, really good. You know what, let's just drop these bad boys right in here. Let's get the stonewashing. Forget about it. I'm going to hook this thing on there like that. These ones I'm not so much worried about because they have the wire. So, make sure the top is nice and sealed. When you open this, let it sit for a minute when you open it because it is definitely going to have smoke, you know, like, see that powder that you just seen right there? Lots of powder. I mean, I'm covered in it. And I did let it sit. It's just from shaking it up. I mean, it's just, you know, part of the process. If you have regular stones or the little ceramic bits that you can buy offline, it'll be different. You won't get as much smoke. I got powder in there, and it's all ceramic powder, but it's from the tile. So let's get the shaking it up. This is after just a few minutes. I took it out to rinse it off. If it won't, all right. I took it out to rinse it off. I'm gonna put it back in. Give it a little bit more. You see my my nail polish is starting to get a little weak from everything. You know, it's sat in that stuff for a long time, longer than ever it's supposed to really sit in there. It's because of this coating they have on there. I am very impressed with this coating from Twosun. It is, you know, taking a beating. But I do like the results. I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes because I don't want to damage anything that, you know, from where the nail polish is coming off. So a couple more minutes. And you want to take these out and rinse them off every once in a while. Try them off, then put them back, or just rinse them and put them back. It does help. Some people like to do it, you know, the stone washing with water inside there, so it helps the ceramic float around a little bit. So a couple minutes later, or probably about a minute and a half, I shook it around a little bit. I'm going to leave it as is for right now. I'm going to put this thing together and see how it looks. Alright guys, now it's time to remove the nail polish. You can get some Q-tips. I got Q-tips and I got some paper towels. Get your acetone and go to work. Let me get this wire off too. Gonna want to get it really, really good and make sure every bit of that acetone is off. We'll come back to this. Okay guys, this is how this wound up turning out. I did hit it up with a little sandpaper. It was 100 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to torch it now to get a little flame anode. I got the other one already done. I'll show it to you in just a second. It's got to cool off, but I don't want to get it too much right here because I'm not going to take this lock bar off again right now. And so I don't want to warp this too much, so I'm going to try to just get it mostly on the bottom and the side. We'll see how it goes. Don't worry, I'm not too close to that other stuff. I'm going to aim the torch right at it. And what you want to do is, if you get it bright red, that is going to be like more like a bluish. So just know that, you know, like once you get a bright red, you want to back off if you're wanting a blue. If you don't want like a bluish, you kind of want to get it before it gets bright red, like right there. See how it's turning red? So I want this bottom a little bluish. I mean, it's kind of, you're kind of doing a guessing game a little bit with the torch, but you're going to see how it turns out here in 1 second, because it's going to be real quick. As soon as it cools off, it's going to be a color. So we're just going to get the bottom, maybe a little bit here on the side. Since this bottom's already hot now, I can start stretching this heat up. So I'm going to start working it up. Let's get this bottom a little bit more. See if we can get a nice purplish blue out of it. I was going to go just raw titanium, but I want to show some anodizing at home that you can do just with a torch. Anybody can buy, you know, a $10, $15 torch, or you can buy like a $5 one. Come on, stretch it up. See how it's heating up right there? You want to get just a little bit higher, get it up towards the top here to this pivot. We're going to stop it right about here. Alright, now, look at it, guys. Look at that. See the colors? How I got like the purplish right there at the bottom, and it goes to a blue, and then it goes to a bronze. I think that looks really good. So right before the bright red is the bronze. Then the bright red is a purple. You can kind of see that little bit of red down there. But what I did was I hit it with a 100 grit sandpaper to get the rest of that stuff off. Because, man, that stuff is not no joke. Titanium usually cools off pretty quick. Here's the other side. Check that out. Doesn't that look pretty cool? Let's see how it looks when it's all done. Alright, guys, here's the finished product. Well, not finished, because next we are doing the regrind, which will be on a separate video. Hopefully I'm going to get it posted right after the stone washing and anodizing. And we could have used the electric current and did a more professional anodizing. I'm not going to say more professional, because some people would rather have a heat ano, but the other kind of anodizing. But we wanted to do one that's very easy for anybody to do at home, and I kind of like this cracked look from the stone washing. It looks really cool. I mean, it just looks industrial, like it was kind of like pulled right out of a fire pit. I like it. Looks really cool. And especially after we do the regrind, oh, it's gonna look amazing.